Okay, we have Dylan, and we'll go to questions right off the bat. Dylan, to your left over here, third row.
Hey, Dylan, Steve Schneider, WAFB in Baton Rouge. How you been?
Doing good.
Talk about being the guy that Coach Saban selected to come here and represent the defense. Obviously, we've seen you since you were on the cover of magazine as an 8th grader. It's been a long journey, but maybe just the maturation process for you and what kind of defense you think you're going to be leading and what your role is going to be.
Honestly, I feel like personally it's a great honor to be here, to be one of the guys that Coach Saban has chosen. And personally, I just really want to, lead the defense in the way it's supposed to be led. I'm the type of guy, I'm a perfectionist. I want things done the right way, same as Coach Saban. And I'm hard on myself, and just as I'm hard on myself, I'm going to be hard on other guys as well. And I just want things to be, done like I said, the way it's supposed to be. And I really want to be a great leader for my team, for the defense, and I want our defense to be dominant. I want our defense to be dominant. I want our team to be dominant in all aspects, not just the defense. And I know Tua wants that as well. And we're working together hand in hand, as him being the leader on offense, me being the leader on defense, just to make that happen. So,
To your right, against the wall.
Dylan, Paul Stockman, WTVM, Columbus, Georgia. What does Markel Benton mean to this linebacking core, and what do you want to see from him as one of the leaders of this group, for him to maybe stand out and get some more reps on the outside of special teams and things like that?
Yeah, Markel means a lot to me, man. Like, that's the crazy part. He pushes me every day in practice, and I push him. I'm on him more than ever. Just as I'm on him, I'm on all the guys that's in our room, and I want him to be the best that he could possibly be. And that's the thing with me, like being a leader too, like you have to be able to see the potential in other guys. And I see the potential in the light that he has that can shine very bright, you know what I'm saying? And I want him to, reach all of his potential and do what he can to, be in the position that I'm in, and I just want to see everyone shine.
To your left over here, front row.
Hey, Dylan, Dean Legge from Dog Post. I wanted to ask you you probably played dozens of games in college. What's the toughest game you played in, and why do you remember it being the toughest game?
The toughest game I played in was the Georgia game last year in the SEC Championship. And the reason I say that is because it was a very aggressive game on both sides of the ball. Georgia came with it, we came with it. And I just remember, after that game, I just felt like I got into a brawl. My entire body was hurting. It took me a couple of days to get back healthy and all that, to take care of myself. But that was one of the hardest games I ever played in.
Second row, right here in front.
Soraya Ponder, Tuscaloosa News. Hey, Dylan. So Alabama is known for their defense. Do you feel as if, or do you see you guys getting back to the Alabama standard for this season?
Oh, yeah, of course. That's what I was telling the first reporter, and that's one of my main things. That's really what I'm focusing on. But it all boils down to the right leadership and guys being on the same page. Because the coach is going to make the right calls. It's all up to us, to execute it. So with that being said, it's all up to me to, get that done. And then I tell myself and I tell everyone else, whatever happens with this defense this year is it's on me, and me, I take pride in all of that. I told you guys before, I'm a perfectionist and I want things done the right way, just as Coach Saban wants things done the right way. So, that's how I'm going to take it.
Right here, second row of the Braves outfit.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the freshmen who have come in and how they went through the spring? Have there been any of those guys that made you say, whoa, this is something special?
As far as in our linebacker room or just all over?
Just any of them.
Okay, well, just speaking on all of the guys that came in, it really shocked me because a lot of the guys are very talented, and for them being here such a short amount of time, they're grasping on to, the defense and even the offensive play calls very well and very quickly. And I'm just each day that goes by, I try and tell them, the ones that's struggling, that it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to move forward and, not feel comfortable right now, because in order to make a mistake, in order to learn and be comfortable in our defense, you have to be okay with making the mistakes that you make. And that's what really helped me, because I was so hard on myself. I was so hard on not getting things right at that particular time that it basically pushed my process up a little bit more, and I learned the defense faster than I expected to, so that's what I keep trying to tell them, and that's why, that's what helps me being a leader too and connecting with my teammates.
Okay, gentleman in the blazer.
AJ Spur, 90.7 WVUA FM, Tuscaloosa. Dylan, earlier today, Coach Saban said that the loss in the national championship isn't a loss that you ever really get over. Can you speak on how that loss against Clemson impacted you as an individual player and impacted the defense leading into the 2019 season?
It really impacted me a lot. It left a bad taste in my mouth just because I felt like I didn't do enough. But this year, like, I really have the mindset that I don't want to leave the field. And that was like really something that I had to deal with the entire year because, like I said, I wasn't a Mike linebacker, so it was times I had to leave the field, for the other guy to come in and take that responsibility. But now it's like, since now it's in my hands, it's my defense, I can run it the way I want to run it. Like, I want it to be crisp. I want everything done the right way. I want, to never leave the field. I want guys to be able to depend on me and know that I'm someone that they could depend on. And like I said, overall, man, it's just, I'm very eager for this season to start. So,
Okay. In the blue dress, thank you.
Dylan, a couple years ago, you were in the Players Tribune talking about your days with your uncle and playing football in the yard. As we try to understand a little bit more about why you're a perfectionist, what did those moments when you were 10 years old teach you about where you are right now with the Crimson Tide?
Really, it was that, and also like what I went through with my dad too, because my dad, like, if I wasn't doing something the way it was supposed to be done, he made me do it over and over and over again until I got it right. And that's where that really came from. And then also just the fact that with me, I was always a competitor. So if I lost, I would always want to keep going until I won. So that helped me develop as a leader, and that really separated me too as just the player that I am today. So that goes along with me being the leader that I am, with just being on this Alabama football team and leading my teammates and being the guy that I am and pushing them, and not only worrying about myself, but like also affecting the guys around me. So.
To your right, third row.
Caroline Grace, WAFF, Channel 48 out of Huntsville, Alabama. There was a lot of talk last year about how, in the media, about how, this isn't going to be a defense it's not going to be a normal Alabama defense like we've seen in the past.
Right.
And I think, y'all went through the season and you kind of proved that point wrong. But in your opinion, what is it that makes up one of those signature Alabama defenses?
It's just everyone being on the same page, everyone having the same mindset, and guys like coming together and having like just an ultimate goal that they're trying to achieve. When guys come and they're more so worried about just their individual goals and not worried about what the team goal is, that's when it causes an issue. But what Coach Saban says all the time, if guys come in, do what they're supposed to do, and we win games, and it brings a lot of attention towards the team, and that'll bring awards and all that. Like, it'll come on its own, especially if we're just doing what we're supposed to do and we're the top ranked team in the country, like, and we do what we're supposed to do, like, it's gonna happen regardless. So that's why he was saying you have to be a team player.
Dylan, over here to your left, camera.
Hey, Dylan. You'll have a lot of new players on defense with expanded roles.
Yeah.
One of those players is LeBron Ray. What have you seen from him during the winter program, spring, that makes you believe that he's ready to take that next step?
Man, dude he's very dominant. He's one of my favorite players on the team. And like I said, for him to be so dominant and so much of a great player, you wouldn't expect him off the field, because, like I said, he's so quiet and to himself, and he's real goofy too. But it's like a switch that goes off in his head once he go on the field, and like I said, that's what makes him that's what separates him from everyone else.
Right here, front row.
Yeah, been going online. It's well documented among ex-players on campus during the summertime.
Right.
Being put in that leadership role. Have you reached out to those guys, talked to those guys? About what's expected and what to think about?
Not really. Like, I'll speak sometimes briefly, but whenever I speak to ex-players, like, it's just like them trying to give me advice as to like how the next level is and stuff. But for me, it's not really. I'm not really too worried about that. I don't really think too much about the next level at all, really, because my main focus is my team, my defense, the whole team entirely, and just winning another championship. And as far as like the leadership part, like I'm a natural born leader. I lead by example. And I feel like since I've been at Alabama, it really helped me evolve more as a vocal leader. So I'm just ready to take on that role.
Front row here.
Hey, Dylan, I'm from Baton Rouge. When you left Baton Rouge, it was kind of shocking when you went to IMG.
People really didn't expect it. How did it prepare you for a moment, and maybe this moment now, when you look downstairs and you see the fandom that surrounds Alabama and kind of your journey? How did the beginnings of that stage prepare you for where you are now?
It really helped me a lot because whenever I was in that time period, I left for football, but also left for family reasons too, because I wanted to help provide. I wanted to get in college so I could be able to work hard and get to a point where I was able to, help make a change in my family and make a difference. So with IMG, they helped me develop more as a player, a person, and a man too. And it made my decision even more easy when it came to leaving home in Baton Rouge. And like I said, it was just, I feel like it was a blessing for me to be able to do that too, because I met a lot of great people and a lot of great players there too as well.
In the middle, the camera.
Dylan, Alabama's known for having, to replace a lot of defensive talent every year, and there always seems to be a guy that steps up in those holes, like Quinnen Williams did last year. Is there a guy, offense or defense, on this team right now that we're not talking about that you think could be this year's Quinnen Williams?
I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of guys that could be like that, and just from me watching the younger guys and watching the older guys, it's so many guys that could be like that, and that's the beautiful part about it, because that's what I want. I want guys to be able to step on board and have that mindset about themselves. They're not going to be denied. They're going to be driven to be the best version of themselves possible. I want that. So if everyone is on that same mindset, that brings value to the team in a lot of different ways, and that can get us back in the position we were last year with being in a championship and hopefully winning this year.
Right here in front.
Drew DeArmond, WZZN Radio, Huntsville, Alabama. Dylan, when you kind of self-reflected after last year and you got with Pete Golding, what was the one or two aspects of your game that you wanted to improve on the most? And then the second part of the question, talk about, he's not getting a lot of buzz because people ask about the young guys, but talk about an old head like Joshua McMillan, who's been patient, who was beside you all spring.
Well, first off, with Coach Pete Goldman, it's not really anything specific that he wants me to work on, because he's a nitpicker. So with him, he looks at everything that I do and try to find something wrong with it and tells me to fix it immediately. And he gets on me a lot about it, and that's something that I admire about him for doing, because it makes me better as a player, and we have a really great relationship. And I tell everyone else, he's from where I'm from. Well, he's from Hammond. That's 45 minutes away from Baton Rouge. So me and him have a close relationship in that aspect as well too. As far as Josh, like I said, me and him, he's taught me a lot even when I was a freshman. When I was a freshman, he was an older guy, and I had to be tucked under his wing, Rashawn Evans' wing, Sean Dion. So it was a lot of guys, but him and specifically, he just, taught me a lot of things, and now being able to play side by side with him, I'm comfortable having him and being able to depend on him as well. So,
two questions right here in front on the right.
Rashad Snell, Alabama News Network in Montgomery. You're top 10, if not top five fastest players on the team. How does that speed help your game and make you the player that you are?
It helps me a lot, but it's I don't rely majority on my speed, because it's more so technique about me. It's more so I have to worry about the little things. The little things play a big part, whether it's your footwork, the angles you take. My speed is just a complimentary, so if I feel like I need to use it, in most cases, I will, but majority of the time I'm trying to make plays in, smaller areas to where I won't have to use it. So if I'm making a play for loss, majority of the time, that's what I'm shooting for, so.
Okay, final question over here to the left.
Hey, Dylan. Jacques Doucet, WAFB TV in Baton Rouge. A couple of quick questions. Number one, there's always been this common story that if Les Miles wouldn't have been fired, you would have come to LSU. Is that true?
Yeah, I've said that before on multiple occasions. That was the main thing, and whenever I was a recruit, I did say if Coach Miles wasn't going to be there, I wasn't going to go to LSU, and that still sticks to this day. So, yeah.
And just to follow up, that with LSU and Alabama, there's a lot of toxic stuff on Twitter and social media. And how have you dealt with that? People who never met you, don't know anything about you, that call you a traitor, or some of these things that have happened.
Well, the thing about me is I'm big on you being the best version of you possible, and growing into the individual that you're supposed to be. And I wanted to put myself in the best position to be able to do that. And I just didn't feel like staying home would be something that would make me grow as a player, person, and a man. And in order to grow, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. So, and that's what I did. And I knew Coach Saban would take me under his wing, and I could learn from him. And like I said, Coach Saban has a lot of great values for himself, his team, and his players. And like I said, he's a great person to learn from.
Dylan, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.